Hi, good evening. I'm the manager for dwpcorruption.co.uk, the independent watchdog for the Department for Works and Pensions. Today is the 2nd of June, and with me I've got my good friend Alan Darby, who's been helping me investigate some fraud and corruption within Dudley Council involving Andrew Spark, the Chief Executive. Today we're going to be talking about a conflict of interest with Dudley Council and Ian Pearson, highlighting and showing and proving more corruption than the public would ever believe. Although it's not bad enough with recent stigma with the expenses and the MPs and the second mortgages and the corruption that they've been involved with, this story will make the public feel sick, because it's again MPs again having their hands in the till and obviously taking the corruption to its limits. Right, what I'd like to do now is hand you over to Alan, as Alan's got far more knowledge on this subject than what I have. But in saying that, we've got evidence and written documentation to substantiate the accusations. So no, Mr. Pearson, there will be no libel, and I think you know that, and that is why you haven't done anything about the situation, because you know we have really got you by the short and curlies. What I'm going to do now is hand you over to Mr. Darby. Oi, Alan, how you doing, mate?
Nice to see you again, Martin.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah.
Right, what's going on then with this bloody aspect, with the corruption with Pearson again?
Well, it's not too. You don't have to look too very hard to find out this corruption. I'm an artist. I was a member of the Black Country Visual Art Network. I've got some prominence. Dudley Council's borrowed one of my paintings of the Titanic, and it was exhibited in the museum. I've done quite a few favours for the council and the arts groups, lending my works for them to show the people, and I've gone as far as making two of the anchors that were famously made by Noah's Hindley that were used on both the Titanic and the Olympic, and that's how I got involved with the council. The man you mentioned, the chief executive, I ended up issuing him with the start of legal proceedings, because he was a man called Stephen Fields, who claims to be the borough artist, who the council say is not employed by them, and it was recently proven that he is, because with my investigations into the council, I looked at their past records, I viewed their site on the internet, which has been changed completely, and they've now admitted that Stephen Fields is the borough artist, and he's been there for 20 years. Something they tried to cover up. In the course of my investigations and knowing Stephen Fields, he was making spurious claims that he had the authority to buy public art. An investigation shows that he has been selling public art all over the Black Country. The art in itself, I'm being too kind to call it public art, because it's nothing more than junk, absolute complete junk. One instance that can be seen by members of the public who drive around there, they'll see a lot of crap all over the place. Crucibles, lions, rampant lions, pliers sticking out the ground, lumps of concrete that have got no relevance whatsoever. But one in particular, the salamander, it must have cost about £30,000, and other junk pieces. It's endless, and it's cost the council millions of pounds. I wrote on a request of the Freedom of Information Act to the council, and they acknowledged my letter on the 21st of January, saying that they was processing the application. But I received that letter the same day as I received another letter dated also the 21st of January, stating that they're refusing my claim. Quite horrendous, really. A simple request: how much has the art cost? How much was Stephen Fields paid for this? One of the outstanding pieces of art, two in particular, was sold to Samuel Borough Council at West Brom when they was closing down swimming baths, reducing all the amenities for the public, to open up the well-publicised White Elephant, the art gallery called The Public. It cost £56 million. It's just gone into liquidation.
56 million?
£56 million, and it's never opened. And they were selling, this Stephen Fields sold two pieces of public art to Samuel Council. when they was trying to scrape all the money together to open this £56 million
Phenomenal
white
amount of
elephant.
money, eh?
Horrendous. No wonder they've got something to hide. I reported it to the MP, and he's refused to acknowledge my letters.
This is Pearson.
Pearson and the other one, Austin, the MP of South Dudley, Ian Pearson, and the MP for North Dudley, Austin, Ian, both Ian Pearsons, yin and yang, pair of crooks, both Labour MPs.
Fabians.
Yes, definitely. But there is a serious cover-up of fraud, and they both played silent. No answer. Answer is not a defence, and he's got a duty, care of conduct to the members of his constituents, all his constituents, to answer my allegations, to investigate. He won't. He hasn't answered the letters. It's serious matters, Martin, serious matters.
But in all honesty, looking at Pearson, where he's coming from, and the hierarchy with Mandelson and Gordon Brown, what more can you expect? You're dealing with scum.
Well, Mandelson, Vaz, O'Brien, there's a connection there. The Induja passports, the £1 million, they like to play with money. And Ian Pearson, answer my letters, please. Because if I see you riding round Dudley on your quad bike, your four-wheel motorbike, I'm going to stop you and I'm going to demand that you answer me. I'm going to demand it. Don't treat me as a fool. You think you got a fool? I'll show you what a fool looks like. Answer my letters.
Interesting stuff. And, you know, when you look at this corruption, it goes deeper than that, doesn't it? You look at Dudley Council, you look at these people who they're involved with. I mean, I heard you talking earlier on about O'Brien, and of course we've got the other idiot for Cannock. What's his name?
Wright.
Tony Wright.
Tony Wright.
And we've got Roy Jenkins, get the snout out the trough party, the investigations that's going on there, and the corruption with these MPs, especially what's coming to light. I'm surprised Ian Pearson hasn't really got a mortgage for a wigwam, or have you?
Well, Pearson, Martin, the strange thing is Pearson is Mandelson's secretary, and his favourite saying is, she sells seashells, doesn't she? Now, he said that 300 odd times in discussions in Parliament, but strangely enough, Mike O'Brien is renowned for saying she sells seashells, don't she? And he said it 500 times. Now, surely these two must be having a lot of chin-wagging for him to pick up idiosyncrasies like that and use the same idiosyncrasies. And Mike O'Brien, ironically, at the time I was taking, I threatened to take legal action against Dudley Council for breach of protocol, turns up at the Black Country Museum with one of his constituents, showing her around, had a nice day, the old lady. And then the next thing, the Black Country Museum is given two big grants, £125,000 to build another second-hand house in the museum, and £125,000 to open up a car museum.
Good God.
O'Brien knows that the car museum is in Meriden. Dudley's never made a car. Wolverhampton's made motorbikes and lorries, but Dudley has never made a car. So, and Ian Waldron is retiring. Is this a golden handshake? And did O'Brien come purposely to Dudley to back his MP up because they were getting cold feet? O'Brien knows that once I get my nose to the ground, it is a big nose, but once I get it to the ground, I have got a great smell for corruption.
And not only that, you talk about the chief executive, Andrew Spark. I don't know whether you're aware, but I've uncovered some corruption with him working up in Lincoln Council, and he's been an absolute bloody idiot with what he's got involved with up there, and put his name to it. We've got documentation on it. But listen, this video is coming to a close. It's only an introduction. Go to the cases page. You'll be able to read everything about it and see the evidence for yourself. Keep your eyes pierced.